if you eat a mostly raw plant-based diet, do you get enough oil in the diet? And someone also asked, I'm asking for them, on the oil and coffee enemas, are those used at the same time or are those separate?
Okay, let's do the second one first. Oil enemas and coffee enemas are two completely different things. Coffee enema is for flushing your liver, and oil enema is for flushing the crypts inside your anus that are part of the lymphatic system. So you do that at separate times. What was your first question?
Hang on, we're going to unmute them again. Oh, okay, Benny, go ahead.
If I'm eating mostly a raw plant-based diet, am I getting the oil naturally in the diet? Do I need the oil?
Yeah. Okay, so this is a great question, because I know that there are people in this group or that are speakers here that do not use any oil. And so the idea then, and people have told me this over the years, well, why don't you just eat raw foods and get all of your nutrients from the raw foods, because that's how it was in nature. And so that makes a certain amount of sense. So I decided to try to do that. And even in summer, when I need less oil than in winter, I need about 4 tablespoons in winter, 2 or 3 in summer for optimum skin feel. Even in summer in California, when it was hot, and I ate just seeds, I ate 5 tablespoons of flax seeds and I think 3 of sunflower seeds. 8, that's a lot, because the flax seeds swell to 6 times their size because of the mucilage fiber. So that's like a whole meal. And even doing that, in the time when I need less oil, my skin got drier and drier. So flax is really a good food if you grind it up and you get all the nutrients, because it has lignans in it. And it's like a really good food. I have to take oil on top of that to get my skin to be soft, smooth, and velvety. So and the thing is, you can try it. If you do it just with foods and you hope to get all the oils you need just from foods, see what happens to your skin. Skin gets them last and loses them first. That's why we use that as an indicator of optimum intake. And you can find out for yourself whether it works, like I did, right? Now, the people that don't like oils mainly is because they're educated people and they read the science literature on oils, and nowhere in the literature in the research on oils do the people who do the research say that the damage done to oils by processing is the reason why they got negative results. So they got poison in their oil, but you think it's all good stuff, just like I did until I found out that there were pesticides in the oil, and that that's a whole other story besides the damage done by the processing, right? So but the thing is, if you can, and maybe some people can, I just know I can't, and everybody has a body, so you can find out for yourself. Don't take it and see if there's a difference. If you can keep your skin soft and velvety with just foods, and if not, add some oil. See if that changes, or see how much oil you need to do how much oil you need to take to change that. That's what I would do.
Thank you. Yeah, we usually mute them towards the end of the question. So, but yes,
I will stop asking.
No, that's okay. And really, it is extremely helpful for all of us. So thank you. I'm going to move on to our next question. And we've got Stephen. I'm going to unmute you. Welcome.
Hey, great presentation. Thank you. Currently, I do the ground flaxseed, and I buy the organic flaxseed whole, and I grind it in a little coffee grinder just before I'm going to use it. Does that make sense? And I refrigerate it or freeze it in the meantime.
You mean you grind it in batches and then you freeze them, use them?
No, I grind it just as I'm going to use it. I don't even batch it.
Okay. So what are you refrigerating?
The whole flax seed itself.
Okay. You don't need to refrigerate the flax seeds. They found flax seeds in caves in Switzerland that were 5,000 years old, and they planted them and they grew. That's how good nature's packaging is. So you don't need to do that. The question is, when you grind it, it depends on how well ground it is. I would blend it just so I'd be sure that I got all the oil. That's why I recommend blending it. But you will get something, because once you break the seed, your digestive juices can get to the meat. No, that's the wrong word. to the food, to the nutrients in the seed.
Excellent.
So let me say, it's better than not doing it.
Thank you for that. Really do appreciate that. I'm going to move on now to Debbie S., and we are unmuting you. Hi, Debbie. Oh, hang on. I may have done something wrong. Let's
Oh, there it is. Okay.
There you go.
There I go. Hi. It's a quick follow-up to actually the first question. I know that I have the variant that doesn't really convert, my body doesn't readily convert ALA to DHA. So I have been taking a capsule or an oil. So now you've got me concerned about the algae derived oil.
So here's the thing. There are people, the fish oil industry has always said your body, when we started with flax oil, this was in 1986, they came out that week, body can't convert. But before that, they never said that. They said 30% cannot convert enough. So this idea that you can't convert ALA into EPA and DHA is BS. Get another opinion. Get an opinion from someone who's not wedded to
This was from 23andMe. I had my thing done, and they said I have that. I know not accurate. They said I had the MF. I'm not going to say what we call it. MFTH. That SNP.
Yeah. And the tests that those companies are doing, there's several companies that are doing that, are practically speaking, or in practice, are generally completely unreliable. Make the assumption that your body actually can do it, because every cell in your body has the genes that make the enzymes that do the conversion. So every cell that has a nucleus, so that's like most of them, blood cells don't have nucleuses, right? Every cell has the ability to convert. And the big problem in our society is not the ability to convert, but getting the starting material to get the conversion done. So and like Walter Willett, who is a very knowledgeable and is not a proponent of anybody being paid off, was very clear. If you couldn't convert, you would have died a long time ago. You sound like an adult. You would have died in childhood if you couldn't convert. So sometimes you have to take, not everybody's an expert and not everybody tells the truth. And it's tough sometimes. I mean, it makes it hard for people. If every liar had liar written on his forehead, the world would be a lot easier place to maneuver through, right?
Well said, and we appreciate your candor. Thank you very much for that. I'm going to move on now to Evelyn. We are unmuting you. Welcome, Evelyn.
Hello. I have a question about the supplement industry's current promotion of liposomal vitamins. Yeah. And now they're using sunflower seed oils as part of that. What's your opinion about the liposomal products?
So are they in capsules?
Yes. Well, some of them are being sold in capsules and some of them are being sold as oils. So are those oils destabilized?
Well, most people probably use oils that have been treated with Drano winter washing acid, bleached and fried before they use them. Because that's how the industry makes sunflower oil. Unless it says unrefined, which is more expensive, it's not likely that they do it. I could be wrong, but I would be surprised. But you could find out by asking them. If you ask them, they might tell you yes, even if they're not doing it. It's all that.
So we should be asking them how they're processing their sunflower seed oils. Is that?
Yeah, but they probably buy it somewhere. But let me talk about the liposomes. liposomes are like the membranes on your cells. And anything that needs to go, like oily substances, have to be put in vehicles for transport. And liposomes are an attempt to make that easier. But you know, if you eat the same vitamins without the liposomes, your body makes the liposomes or absorbs them into little cavities that then become liposomes. So you don't need the liposomes to get your supplements absorbed. And it's a you know, the more technology we get, the more complicated everything becomes. And then people always find angles to, oh yeah, we can do this. Oh yeah, we can do that. And then maybe they can patent it. And when we were running around naked in nature, we were not getting anything in liposomes. And I always go back to when I look at how we live, and when I make products, I'm always asking, what was it? How was it before we got so civilized? And you want to do whatever you can to get as close to being in the natural state, your natural state, in the natural state. And that'll be where you probably get your best long-term solutions. So, is it problematic to take it? Well, it only depends on what else is in those liposomes. But taking the liposomes themselves are not a problem, but what they have to do to create them, that's where the processing comes in. If you think about it, most of the degenerative diseases that kill us come from processing. They come from processing. They come from what we did to foods the way nature made, to turn them into what we call value-added foods, which are really value-subtracted. Because every time we mess with nature, we screw something up, right? Which is why fresh, whole, raw, organic is a very good standard to look at, unless the foods are contaminated, in which case you got to kill the bugs.
Sage advice. Thank you very, very much for that. Going to go ahead and move on to our next question from Norma. We're unmuting you. Hi, Norma.
Hi, good morning. Dr. Udo, what do you think of avocado and olive oil?
I eat avocados. They have the oil is only 5% omega-3, so it's not, it has some, but it's pretty low. But it's not damaged unless the olive is rotten. Unless the avocado is rotten. Olive oil has no omega-3s, like less than 1%, has only 10% omega-6. Those are the only two things you need. 80% is monounsaturated. Your body can make that out of sugar and starch, and you don't need it. Then it has minor ingredients that come from the olives. And then you have to wonder whether it's extra virgin or whether they've doctored it with other oils, because the oil has become so popular so fast that the demand has outstripped the growth rate of the olive trees. And so what people are doing is, because the demand is there, they want to fill the demand, then they sometimes throw canola oil in there, or they throw soybean oil in there, or whatever cheapest damaged oil that they can get. And then they still put on it sometimes extra virgin olive oil. So you need to know where your oil is coming from. What I do is, if you put olive oil in the fridge, it should either go solid or it should create little flecks of crystals. Because if it doesn't, then there's probably something else that's been added to it. That's how I do it. And I don't use olive oil that much, because I'm always more focused on the omega-3 and the omega-6, getting them right, getting them in the right ratio, getting them made with health in mind. But extra virgin olive oil is the only popular oil that hasn't been treated with drain or window washing acid, bleached and fried, if it's really extra virgin olive oil, because they get it out of the flesh of the olive and they float it off on water. And then it's an unrefined oil. So you can get undamaged olive oil, but you don't get the omega-3s that you need from